Good morning, Facebook and YouTube followers. This is Half Man, Half Cichlid. Thanks for joining me. How would you like to eliminate those Fishroom floods where you're adding water to your aquarium and they overflow? Let me first ask some questions. Did you ever get distracted during a refill of an aquarium after a water change? I have, and I've flooded the area quite frequently. Have you ever had a big flood where you got back after being distracted and you have 10, 20, 30 gallons of water to clean up? I have. In fact, my approach has traditionally been to have a kind of a response, emergency response. I have a couple giant wet vacs and a bunch of fans to respond to these situations. Have you ever caused damage because of it? You know, if you have wood floors or carpeting, I have. And that's one of the reasons I'm pretty much relegated to having my fish room in my basement. So who needs to solve this problem? Just a thought. If you have a 29-gallon aquarium and you change half the aquarium, you're going to probably stand there while you add 10 or 15 gallons. Excuse me. But if you're like me, where I have actually about 1,400 gallons in my fish room, and I've got 500 gallon, 340 gallon, like the one behind me, and a 200 gallon aquarium, adding the replacement water can take a long time. In my 500 gallon, for example, it can take 40 minutes. And that's when you get the phone call, you get the text message, you hear something outside, the doorbell rings, and you can be distracted and have a flood as a result. So what is the solution? The solution is do your DIY flood alarm, and this thing is going to cost you $20 or less. And we're not talking here about an alarm on your floor that rings after the fact when your room is flooded. We're talking about an alarm that you hang in your aquarium, and when the water level gets to that level nearing the top, the alarm goes off to remind you to either turn off the water or at least meter it in till you slowly get to the maximum level in your aquarium without it overflowing. Again, the cost will be $20 or less, and I've dealt with this problem for years. I had a brainstorm one evening, and I'm anxious to share with you the design of this thing. Thank you. Okay, first off, I have removed about 60% of my 340 gallon aquarium, and I'm adding back water at 10 to 15 gallons per hour. You can imagine how much damage would be done if I got a phone call and I left and the aquarium overflowed. Now let's get into the major components of the system. There's a bar over the opening of the aquarium. There's the first alert water alarm that sends the alarm when the water reaches a pre-adjusted level. Okay, now we're going back down into the aquarium where we're adding the, again, 10, 15 gallons per minute. And while the water level is coming up, it's getting closer to an electrode that's suspended within the aquarium and adjustable depth. Here you can see the water is rapidly approaching the electrode. Okay, it's time to get into the build. And the build is with components that are inexpensive and should be readily available for most of us. So starting with the components of the system, we have zip ties, we have a plant basket. Not sure what they call these. It's what they use to hold and suspend plant baskets. I've been able to find them at every nursery in town. You'll need a pair of clippers and some type of rod material. This is an example of a steel rod. Of course, it would have to be cut to length. Now let's go look at the final setup, which is I think self-explanatory how to put it together. After you cut off one of the four things that held the plant basket, that becomes your slide post for the electrode that connects to the alarm. And the beauty of the system is you can adjust the depth up and down of the electrode so that you can have the alarm sound off at different points in the refill of your aquarium. You might want to get the alarm a few minutes before the aquarium's full, or longer, depending on how much time you want to give yourself to get back to hear the alarm, get back to the aquarium, and to, in a controlled manner, supervised manner, refill your aquarium. Of course, as a first alert, I'll provide a link to this alarm, and the wire from the electrode, as you can see, that the electrode apparatus goes up and down. The wire is secured to the rod material. In this case, I use clear plexiglass rod with zip ties. So there's the wire, there's the alarm, there's the sliding adjustable depth apparatus for the electrode, and we'll see everything in motion in one of my water changes. I decided to add this last slide for simplicity. The electrode clips rather easily onto the plant basket hanger, and again, it can go up and down depending on the depth that you'd like your electrode when you're refilling your aquarium. The electrode, of course, is attached to the alarm, and the plant basket hanger end attaches to the bar that suspends this electrode assembly over your water. Hope this helps and clarifies. Thank you. I decided